hello. I didn't see you there. I'm just enjoying some culture. And how are you today? Today I want to talk about the finer cultural things in life. The cinema. Do you know it? Are you cultured like me? If you're not, don't worry. I'm going to show you how to be cultured by watching films. Okay, but all that to say, I've seen several movies since the new year started, and I thought I would do one of those if this then that videos, but with films. I don't know who's watching this and if you know about Alamo Drafthouse, but it's like a movie theater franchise, and in Austin where I live there are a number of them, and they have like a card, like a pass. I think it's called the Victory card or the Victory. It doesn't matter. You can Google it. You can see movies for basically free for a monthly fee. One movie a day all month you could see. I've been using it some. So I want to talk about some of the movies, well, all of the movies that I've been to the theater to see since the new year started. And I will tell you, if you liked any of these current movies, you may like these other movies. This isn't book related today. I am planning on doing a book to movie, if you like that, if this then that, whatever. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and jump in. The first movie we're gonna talk about is The Fire Inside. And it's about a girl who wants to be a boxer, and she wants to go to the Olympic Games. And she comes from a small town that's not doing very well. And it's about her struggle to basically get the funding to be able to do this. Based on a true story, it's about believing in yourself and also making a difference in your community. So a couple of movies that I would like to recommend. If you liked this, then you will like maybe Kinky Boots. It's also based on real life events, and it's about that community coming together and making a difference. Yeah, so there's Kinky Boots. If you liked The Fire Inside, you may also like Teen Spirit. This is a movie it stars Elle Fanning, and she plays a young girl who wants to try out for a singing competition, kind of like American Idol, and it's just about her journey in her calling to be a singer. It's not based on real events, but it is about a girl from a small town with a big dream. There are conversations about socioeconomic positions. There's the same kind of conversation happening in The Fire Inside. So there are some similarities in those areas. And if I'm remembering correctly, there's some similarity in the tone of the two films. The next movie that I don't want to recommend. Here's the thing. I should have said this at the beginning, but, so warning. I am well aware that people have different tastes in everything. So I'm trying to think broadly about this. So I'm not just recommending movies that I have seen and loved. So I'm trying to get, if you don't like one of them, maybe you'll like one of the other ones. So I'm trying to make this broad, but most of them I have enjoyed these movies. Okay, so back to the list. If you like The Fire Inside, you may like Warriors. Warriors is a story about two boxers who are brothers who have to fight each other. The Fire Inside is a boxing movie, so is Warriors. You may like it because of that. It involves struggles within a family. If I'm remembering correctly, there's also some socioeconomic crises that are happening in both films, and it's emotionally high stakes for both stories. So there you go. And fun fact, Joel Edgerton is in both Kinky Boots and Warrior. So if you're a fan of Joel Edgerton, there you go. 2 options for you. The last movie I want to add to this list for The Fire Inside is Fighting with My Family. Is a movie, I'm noticing that most of these are British. Fighting with My Family. This is also based on a true story. It is also about a girl trying to make it in a male-dominated sport and industry. The tone is quite different. It's more of a comedy, but there's still some drama to it, but it is more of a comedic side of things than The Fire Inside. So if you liked The Fire Inside, you might like these other movies. And contrary-wise, if you liked any of these movies, you may like The Fire Inside. I would recommend most of these movies depending on the person I was talking to. So there you go. Okay, the next movie on the list is One of Them Days. This is with Keke Palmer and SZA. That's Inkling. If you're not familiar with One of Them Days, it is about two roommates who, they're both kind of down on their luck in different ways. Basically, one of them gives the rent money to their boyfriend to go give it to their landlord. He doesn't do that. They have the rest of the day to get the money until they're kicked out on the street. And it's them having sort of a city odyssey, an urban odyssey to get this money so they can keep their apartment. And hijinks ensue. It's comedic. It's got interpersonal drama. That's my favorite phrase, I guess, today. I'm not sure. So if you liked One of Them Days, I have two movies that you may also like. One of them is Empire Records, which is a movie from the 90s, and it is about the staff of a record store who find out that, I guess, the rent is being raised or something. Something happens. It's a similar situation. If they don't get X amount of money by the end of the day, they're kaput. They're not going to be able to keep the store. So it's about this group of record store workers trying to, living their lives, but also trying to come together and get this money raised. So also interpersonal relationships, and you have one day to get this money, and all of the hurdles that they have to jump over. They're both comedies. So if you like that style of film, then you may like Empire Records. Another movie that you may like, if you liked One of Them Days, is Josie and the Pussycats. This is an early 2000s movie, and it's based on a comic strip, I think, related to the Hardy Boys. Anyway, it's about these three girls who are in a band, local band. They hit the big time. It is a commentary on capitalism and a commentary on culture. But so the reason I'm recommending this, if you liked One of Them Days, is more for the interpersonal relationships. So One of Them Days, two best friends trying to just make it through the day together. Will they or will they not remain friends by the end of it, And that is kind of a similar situation with the band Josie and the Pussycats. They're best friends, the three of them, and through this journey of becoming famous and their music becoming like the best music in the world, will their personal relationships be able to make it through? And it's lighthearted? Yeah, it's a comedy. It is a bonkers comedy. It's pretty out there. It's got some crazy stuff, but they both kind of have crazy stuff going on. So if you liked One of Them Days, you may like one of these movies. Next on the list is an odd one that probably nobody's heard of, but I'm still going to use this trend. So we might even flip it and reverse it. But the next movie I want to talk about is Grand Theft Hamlet. And this is a movie that was filmed during the pandemic. It's a documentary, and it's about two theater people. So these two guys, one of them's an actor and one of them's a director, I think. So these two guys, it's during COVID, they're out of work, they're playing Grand Theft Auto together, and one day they decide that maybe they should try putting on a production of Hamlet within Grand Theft Auto. And so it's just about the process of them trying to do this. I know that in the Venn diagram of people who play Grand Theft Auto and people who love Shakespeare, you know, it's a small overlap, I think, probably. I mean, I haven't done the science, haven't done the statistics on it, but I don't think it's a huge slice that overlaps. But if you happen to like Shakespeare and you happen to know about Grand Theft Auto, you may really enjoy this movie. So if you enjoyed this movie, you may enjoy Romeo plus Juliet. If you don't know what Romeo plus Juliet is, it is the play Romeo and Juliet in film form. It's by Baz Luhrmann did it. If you're not familiar with Baz Luhrmann, he did Moulin Rouge and a couple of other, something about ballroom dancing. He's done several movies, and his movies, The Great Gatsby, I think he did, with Leonardo DiCaprio. Just a lot, he's like a maximalist, cinematographically speaking. And it's a modern retelling of Romeo and Juliet. Instead of swords, they all have guns. It's in, I guess they're in California somewhere. They might be in Los Angeles. It's been a while since I've watched it.
We're sorry, your call cannot be completed as dialed.
My battery died, and now it's several hours later. So, the lighting's new, and the camera angle is slightly different, and I've eaten pizza. So, I was on Hamlet, Romeo plus Juliet. It's Shakespeare with guns. Okay. And then Grand Theft Hamlet is Shakespeare with guns. So, you're welcome. That's all you need to know. So, if you liked Grand Theft Hamlet, you should try Romeo plus Juliet. And if you love Romeo plus Juliet, you should try Grand Theft Hamlet. Okay. The next movie is Love Hurts. It was like a Valentine's Day action movie. A guy who used to be a fixer, if that's the right terminology, is he a mob boss? Or he was a fixer for a bad guy, and he was supposed to kill somebody, but he let her go, and now she's back. I think I'm maybe spoiling this. Love Hurts. It's a movie about a really happy, friendly real estate agent who we find out he's got a past, pretty violent martial arts past, and it comes back to haunt him, and he has to, get pulled back into that life in order to protect someone he cares for deeply, okay? So, yeah, that's the movie. So if you liked Love Hurts, you may like Mr. Right. And I will I say this now? I'll wait. Mr. Right is a movie about a hitman who decides that he's only going to kill people who hire him to kill people, but he falls in love. And so he doesn't want to kill people anymore, but some people want him to kill people, and killing happens. And it's a comedy. So, an action rom-com where love is at stake. So, yeah. Okay. Now, full disclosure, I didn't love Love Hurts. I thought it was funny. I would have given it like 3 out of 5 stars. I'm happy that I went to see it, but I wanted it to be better. Mr. Right is a movie that I love that movie. I have seen it many times. I would watch it again right now, except that I don't have it, and I don't think it's streaming anywhere right now. But I also know that some people think the movie is silly and they don't like it. Personally, It has Sam Rockwell in it in a 3-piece suit. So I don't know if you need any more information. Also, Anna Kendrick. Great. It's just a fun time. It's just a good, fun time. So there you go. Try it. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, that's cool too. You don't have to. The next movie. Oh, so Alamo Drafthouse shows Oscar shorts every year, which I didn't know about until this year. They have the 5 live action as a film and the 5 animated as a film. So you buy a ticket for the whole 5. Okay. This was kind of difficult because there's 5 shorts in each category, live action or animated. And I'm not going to talk about each 5. I'm just going to talk about the ones that I could think of matches for that I have seen and that I enjoyed. So, for the live action, I want to talk about Anuja, which is about 2 orphan sisters trying to make it. And yeah, that's a really dumbed down way to say this, but here it is. So I want to talk about 2 films that if you liked Anuja, you may want to try these 2 films. The first one is Children of Heaven. It's a foreign film. It is about 2 siblings, the brother and a sister. They're both young. The boy, he loses his sister's shoes. I saw this like 12 years ago, so I don't. But he loses her shoes and they have to run around the city trying to get her shoes back. But there's a specific thing that they need the shoes for. This isn't very helpful, but basically it's a really great story about siblings like trying to help each other out. And what did I write down? Siblings, resourcefulness, sort of another urban odyssey, and it deals with class divide. Also, Bicycle Thief. Bicycle Thief is a foreign film. It's an Italian classic. I think it was made in like the 50s. It's one of them black and white films from the classic days of cinema. Anyway, it is also sort of an urban odyssey dealing with class divide. And it's about a father and a son who are struggling. The dad gets a job. In order to do the job, he needs a bicycle. I guess his bicycle was like broke or was stolen, so then he has to steal you know what, you can look it up if you're interested. Here's the poster. It was a really beautiful, sad, poignant film. So if you liked any of these 3 movies, you may like any of the other 3 movies. There you go.